What is going on, guys? Hope everyone is having a great morning. Today we have a different type of video. We're going to be covering some news from Zenimax about update 31 that may actually help performance in PvP. But obviously, don't get your hopes up just yet. I think we'll believe it when we see it. Regardless, if this does help in any way, I think we'll take anything at this point. But before we get started, if you guys are enjoying my content, don't forget to subscribe. It's free and you guys never miss an upload. Without further ado, let's get right into it. So to start this video off, we're going to be looking at the first article. This is update 31 preview for ESO's graphical improvements. But here's where we get to the good stuff, the dynamic resolution scaling. This is specifically going to help console out quite a lot. At least on paper is what it looks like. We'll have to see how it actually works in game. But for the launch of ESO Console Enhanced, our most important goal on the graphic side was to get as close to as possible to a solid 60 FPS for our performance modes on the Xbox Series X and S and the PlayStation 5. For us, this meant sticking with the resolution that we believe would hold up in all situations on each respective platform. 1440p on the X and PS5 and 1080p on the S. So this is just strictly talking about resolutions right now. And for the most part, if you are questing, you're going to get a solid 60 FPS. But if you go into PvP, you're going to be back down to PS4 performance, which is really unacceptable. I mean, it is what it is. You know, at the launch of Blackwood, whenever I had my PS5, I mean, I had 60 solid FPS in Battlegrounds extensively, never had any frame rate drops at all. I mean, there was a few here and there, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. After a few weeks, it's gotten a lot worse. I'm not sure whether it's my PS5 is getting old. I mean, I just bought it, I guess a few months ago. I don't know. Let me know you guys' thoughts on this. I mean, if you guys have a PS5, tell me if you're having the same experience I am, because mine's a little bit anecdotal. I mean, it's just my experience, but definitely let me know what you guys, if you guys have a PS5, definitely let me know what you guys problems you guys are having. But as we go down here, some of you called out that our new generation console should be capable of delivering higher resolutions at 60 FPS. Obviously, that's why we bought it. With update 31, we are enabling dynamic resolution scaling for performance mode on the X and S and PS5, which steps resolutions up and down based on performance metrics. For the Series X and PS5, the dynamic resolution will scale between 1080p and 2160p or 4K, while Series S will scale between 1080p and 1440p. For example, we expect our players on the Series X to be running at a very close to 4K at 60 FPS in performance mode in most situations. So this means if you're questing, you should be able to get 4K at 60 FPS. I don't see how that's going to be possible. It's already barely doing that now, and I don't even think it's 4K. I think mine's running a 2K at 1440. But we'll see. I mean, this may end up fixing it or not. Again, I'm not getting my hopes up for this. This is just strictly factual evidence, and we can hold Zenimax to their word. So on the flip side, the headroom for dropping to as low as 1080p should further prevent drop frames in high intensity situations such as large Cyrodiil battles and certain trial and dungeon boss fights. So what this means is I would hope that we could drop our resolution to 1080p and not get any frame rate drops, because that is really important in PvP. Like, there's input delay, there's server side issues, but I think a big contributor to lag in general is frame rate. Performance of your hardware is very important in any game you play, whether it's on console or on PC. So I think if we can have some more stable frames where they don't drop down to an extensively low amount and go back and forth in between like 60 and 20 and 10 FPS, that's very annoying. It literally will cause you to play different on your frame rate. Because you see a lot less frames, so that means you're seeing a lot less animations, less time to react to certain scenarios. So I think overall, if this does increase our frame rate in PvP, this will fix a lot of the situations and lag per se in PvP, because you can feel when you're next to a Zerg. You guys all know the feeling. Your screen gets choppy, you start to see animations, and your screen goes down to 10 FPS. If this fixes that, I think this will be an overall great quality of life change to PvP, because choppiness and frame rate is a big contributing factor to lag in general. So the new HDR mode, this is going to make it look a lot better on the consoles. We are happy to report that we have a new hue preserving HDR mode coming in update 31 that very closely matches the look to ESO in SDR while taking advantage of increased range. So I guess it's just going to make it look a little bit better. You know, that's always nice, I guess, right? But for PC guys, you got a pretty big buff here. For you guys that have a not as great CPU or a CPU limited, there is a new beta testing thingy that should increase your frame rate. So again, this should help your guys' performance as well. We'll just have to wait to see. Definitely let me know what you guys, you know, think about this, if it helps you guys or not. Definitely curious, because getting the word out there like this, I think we'll be able to hold Zenimax to their own word. So if they simply can't, you know, hold up to the end of the deal and bargain, then I think that, you know, we can hold their feet to the flame a little bit. So if more people know about this and are educated that this is the product we should be getting, then, you know, I guess we can at least complain somewhat and have some viability for our claims. So that is all for this article. So for the second article, this one was actually released yesterday. This is the Waking Flame Update 31 console release date changed. So this was very short. To ensure a smooth and stable launch, we have made the decision to remove back the release date for the Elder Scrolls Online, Waking Flame, and Update 31 for the Xbox One, X and S, PS4, and PS5 to September 8th. By separating our PC, Mac, and Stadia and console releases by an additional week, we hope to publish a more stable build, potentially allowing us to include additional fixes before the new content goes live. This change will help to alleviate stress on some of our support teams and allow us to better focus on each individual release. Note, the Waking Flame Update 31 release dates on PC, Mac, and Stadia will still remain August 23rd. So I don't think anybody's gonna complain with this. I really don't. I mean, I guess if you wanted to play Waking Flame so bad, obviously, but I think this is honestly a good thing, because it's annoying for them and it's probably annoying for us too. You know, if we get a product that isn't as much, you know, if there's bugs, you know, and they don't fix them before it goes live, that's on them. It's not on us, because we don't, you know, fix the patches or do anything like that. We expect to have a playable game. I don't see anybody complaining about this. I'm personally happy. You know, I want a game that works on launch day. Now, what is bad is if the game still doesn't work and they pushed it back a week. That's what I worry about. Hopefully that's not the case. I mean, that's going to be an extraneous situation, but they'll probably be able to get it done in an extra week. And I hope they test the PS4, PS5 version, Xbox version, to be able to make sure that this goes a smooth transition process. And also, you know, they'll be able to fix maybe bugs that are on PC before it releases on console, which would be a great thing, without having to wait you know, a few more weeks to get a emergency patch update or whatever later on into, you know, the update itself to fix a minor issue bug that is annoying, like remember the craft bag bug and all that stuff. So overall, I think these, I guess, two articles can really help performance. This one maybe not as streamlined as maybe the first one, but having a more smooth release is probably going to be best for overall everybody. And if they can, you know, do the graphical improvements like they're saying they can, then I think this will help PvP overall. I know it may not be as glamorous as we want to, like fixing servers, but servers are going to take a lot of time for them to update and change, because you got to keep in mind this is from 2014. This game is rather old, so they're having to update their whole system, and they're doing the best they can, I hope. At the end of the day, this game is still one of the best games out there, regardless of all of its faults. You know, we're hard on this game because we really care about it and really like it and really enjoy it and wanted to see its best potential. So that is all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys maybe like this sort of thing, this news stuff. I like covering it because, you know, it gets people more educated about what Zenimax is doing behind the scenes. But I think this is a good thing that you guys can, you know, at least take with you, talk about with your friends. And if you guys are experiencing problems, then you guys can say, hey, this is what we're supposed to be getting and this is what we got. So I think that's a good ammunition for us to have in our arsenal, just to be able to, you know, say to Zenimax, like, this isn't right. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.